Welcome to the Rocket Company webinar. I'm so excited to be here with you today, and for you to take your time to do this means a lot. I want to introduce myself. I'm Casey Graham, founder of the Rocket Company and founder of Giving Rocket, which is what we're going to be talking about today. But this is a picture of my family. So I'm the dude in the picture, obviously. You heard my voice. That's my wife. Her name is Casey as well. So we're Casey and Casey. That's my son Gage and my daughter Darby. We were at this awesome farm this summer, taking some time, relaxing, all this kind of stuff. But it's how family pictures are, you know, like it looks like we're smiling, but then there was ants everywhere. It was 1,000 degrees and I'm in a suit. It was crazy. So it was a good time though. So that's my family. Just wanted to introduce them. We're real people on the other side of this webinar, and I would love to connect with you during this. And you can tweet at the Rocket Co, at the THE Rocket Co on Twitter. Let us know. Say, get fired up. If you're fired up and you're on this and you're ready to do it, just say, yeah, I'm fired up. I'm ready to do it. On Facebook, the Rocket Company Facebook page, we would love to hear from you, and we cannot wait to connect with you online. I'm at Casey Graham on Twitter. If you want to tweet me personally, I'd love to hear from you. And just thank you so much for taking your time to do this. So we're going to talk about how to explode giving in 2016. And this is very important because most pastors, ministry leaders, thought leaders, we're not taking time to really think through how to explode giving. Most of the time we think through how to meet our budget. 86% of churches are at break even or broke. Break even or broke. Only 14% of churches explode and have more money for ministry. And so we're going to talk about when we went and we did a study, we looked inside of the churches that exploded. What happened? How did they have more money? What did it look like? And I'm going to give you those. And so my goal today is to get right into it, give you helpful content that you can walk away with that's going to be super helpful for you and your church. So I'm going to go right now with just here's the big picture. This is how it works. Financial increase in the church and financial increase in your life, financial increase in general in a business or a nonprofit or whatever it is, there's three components that you've got to have. Number one is clarity. You see that at the top. You got to be clear, where are we going, how are we going to get there? Number two is intentionality, okay? This is the step-by-step plan to get us there. And number three, and this is one that's often left out, is accountability. Accountability. What are we accountable to grow? And so when it comes to your church, we're going to be talking about how to get clear, how to get intentional, how to get accountable to make sure that financial increase isn't just a webinar that you listen to, but it's literally the plan, the system for you, your staff, your board, your ministry leaders, your elders, however you're structured, but financial increase happens in your church next year. And the reason that financial increase is so important is because the building that you need to build or the children's update that you need to do in the children's area, or whatever it is that your campus or starting a multi-site, or hey, how about a pay raise, or how about paying the other staff that need some extra money, or hiring some additional staff so you're not so stressed out. That's why this is so important. So I'm going to jump right into it and get to it. So if you're ready to have that increase, let us know. Go online, tweet, social media, Facebook, whatever it is right now. We want to hear from you that you're ready, you're fired up. I'm hitting my fist, excited about financial increase. Okay, clarity. So getting clear is what gets you going. Getting clear is what gets you going. And clarity trumps everything else when it comes to increasing finances. And here's the deal. If you have clarity, but you don't have intentionality and you don't have accountability, you see those two circles went away, what you have is wishful thinking. And you say, well, what does that mean? It means that I know people that say, I want to lose weight. I want to lose 10 pounds. But they don't have an intentional plan and they don't have accountability to do it. It means that it's wishful thinking. I talk to pastors all the time. They're like, hey, we want to increase our giving by 20%, or we want to increase our digital giving by 50%, or whatever it is. I say, that's great. No intentional plan that's step by step, week by week, month by month, that's hung up that you can see in your office anywhere. And there's no accountability to that. There's nothing that you've invested in like a coaching program or a coach, or there's nobody that you've committed to your staff or to your church that we're going to increase and we're going to have accountability so you have wishful thinking. So clarity minus intentionality minus accountability is wishful thinking. And a lot of churches are clear. We want to do this. We want to increase this much. No idea how to do it. So you might have wishful thinking if you don't have clearly defined financial objectives. So if I ask, what are the top 3 financial objectives for your church in the next 12 months? And if you and the people in your staff do not have the same answers, you will not increase your giving. So the way it works, your team can't clearly articulate your church's financial growth strategy for the next 12 months. If your team can't tell us exactly what the strategy is going to be to increase your giving, and you're all on the same page about how you're going to do it, and I'm not talking about a capital campaign, I'm talking about increasing regular giving. If you can't do that, you're missing out and you're not going to grow. You might have wishful thinking if your church has no idea what you're trying to accomplish over the next 12 months. And so here's what I mean. If you don't have clearly defined goals, your team isn't going to know what's going to go on, and then your church, can you imagine down to the person that shows up, what are we trying to accomplish over the next 12 months? And so what we do and how we help you inside of Giving Rocket is to create a culture by design, not default. And if you're listening to this, you may say, what is Giving Rocket? And throughout this webinar, I'm going to talk about it. And this is what Giving Rocket ultimately helps you do, is to create a culture by design, not default. And so what I mean by that is, are you on purpose designing for you, your team, and your church to say, here's where we're going for the next 12 months. These are the things we're going to accomplish, and here's how we're going to fund those things. And if that is not clear and on one sheet of paper for you to see, for your staff to know, and for your people to be a part of, you have not created a culture by design, and then mostly by default. And what default is we just go back to our natural behaviors, doing what we do, how we've always done it, and it's just by default. So in Giving Rocket Module 1, and so we'll talk more about this, and this is a coaching program that's all online, that's basically like if I had somebody that could hold my hand of how to do this, that's what it is. It's how to have a financial strategy. And this is inside of it. This is what's so good about Giving Rocket is you see this is a 22-minute video where I sat down and I walk you through. Listen, I've coached churches all over the country, all over the world. I've been with churches that are small, churches that are big, and the same coaching that I use for churches that are 8,000 to 10,000, 12,000 is the same coaching that's a church of 100 or a church of 250 or 400, and it's all inside Giving Rocket Module 1 coaching video. You can see it right here. It's awesome. And the point of it is to help you get clear. And so today at the end of this, you're going to have an opportunity to jump in and get this free. You're going to be able to get this video free. Get fired up. I'm excited that you get to have this video for free, and we're going to help you today. So if you're like, man, I wish I could go learn more and know more and all this kind of stuff. Well, you're lucky because we haven't done this in probably about 2 years of opening it up to where you have free access to our first module, but you're going to get that today, and it's going to help you get clear on your strategy. And so not only that is that we also have ebooks inside of it. So you're going to get an ebook today, which is awesome as well, that walks you and your team through how to get clear and how to have clarity for increase in the next year. And you're going to have access to the resource vault, which is awesome. We've opened it up. You can go in there and download all these done for you letters, emails, scripts, samples from other churches of how they've done this. And we're actually going to give you spreadsheets and forms to help you improve the financial systems in your church. And so you're going to have the ability to have this. And it's all about getting you clear, all about getting you ready to explode giving in 2016. And so success is when everyone in your organization can state the financial objectives for 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, whatever year you're in, and that's what success looks like. And so now it's 2016. And so the question is, okay, do people know what your objectives are? Do they know what your financial objectives are? And everybody in your organization can state them clearly, concisely, and with the same language. That's when you know you've been successful. And this came in from a guy on Twitter, and Bill, Pastor at PK Bill, if you don't believe me about how this stuff works, he says, I had a board meeting last night and watched Module 1. Think about this. He's showing our video to the board, the same one that you're going to have access for free today. He showed it to me. It says, they feel they now have hope for the future again. Can you believe this? Pastor Bill ends. Unbelievable that he showed it to the board. Great. We didn't ask for this. He just went on Twitter. He just tweeted me and said, hey, I want to do this. This is awesome. And so that's step one, clarity. Are you clear? And the practical side is when everybody in your organization can have your three things, okay? Financial increase, step number 2, clarity. We talked about that, getting clear to where you know that we're going to increase our giving by 24% next year. We're going to increase our digital giving by 13%, and then we're going to have 200 people go through Financial Peace University with Dave Ramsey, or whatever your clear goals are. That's how clear it has to be. And then you go intentionality, intentional strategy. But intentionality minus clarity minus accountability equals deception. You say, well, what do you mean? Well, we have a lot of churches that say hey, I just want the letters that you send out. So what letters do you send? Or the giving talk. So inside of Giving Rocket, which you're going to have access to for free, inside of that, you're going to get a free trial to that module number 1. You get giving talks. And a giving talk is when you stand up and it's 2 minutes before you take up the offering and you say, this is what we're going to talk about. But a lot of churches want the strategies. They want to know, what do you do for quarterly contribution statements? What do you do for a giving message? And it's all these little unconnected random things that are intentional to increase giving, but you're not leading people anywhere because you don't have a clear vision of the top 3 financial objectives for your church, and there's zero accountability for you actually to do this. So it's kind of like the overweight person that drinks Diet Coke, okay? They think it's doing good, but it's really not. It's perpetuating the problem because what we do is we deceive ourselves because we're doing a little bit that's going to help. And so churches do the same thing. We deceive ourselves. We think that we're doing well because we're listening to this webinar. We think that we're doing well because we're going to send out some extra letters this year. We think we're doing well because we're going to preach a sermon series on money. We think that's what's going to fix it, but it doesn't. It makes you feel better. You might get a bump. You might get a little increase. You're not going to have sustained financial increase. It takes all 3 together. So you might be deceiving yourself if you pour organic milk on Fruity Pebbles. And the reason I say that is because I've done it. And that makes me feel good to have organic milk on Fruity Pebbles. So it's organic milk on sugar that's going to kill me. And so that's what I was saying, intentionality without a strategy. You're searching for the quick fix. If that's you, if you're the kind of person that's looking for this webinar to give you a quick fix, you're in the wrong place. Now, we can help you increase your giving fast. Within 90 days, you can see a massive increase. However, it's not just a quick fix. Do this one thing and it works. If that's the way you're thinking, you're probably missing out. And so what you should do is create an annual funding plan and make it visible. This is so important. I cannot explain how important this is. And what an annual funding plan is literally every single month, there's 12 months in the year, and then there's 5 different financial systems that you should be operating in all 12 months. And having that thing printed out. And this is an example of that. So January, February, March, April, you see that. And you see that there's seasons at the top. In the new year, let me get my cursor so maybe you can see my cursor on the screen. So looking up here, in the new year, there's different things you do in January and February than you do pre-summer when it comes to giving. So there's 5 seasons of generosity. Now, we go into that in Module 2 of Giving Rocket, and I teach you the 5 seasons of generosity, and then I teach you the 5 systems. First-time givers, there's stuff you should be doing. Digital giving, to get people to give more and online, is huge. That's why we have rocketdonations.com. Rocketdonations.com, we've built a platform that's helping so many churches. Consistent givers, what are you doing people that already are consistent giving? What about in your worship service? What are you doing in your worship service? And then high capacity donors. What are you doing for the people that have high capacity to give? And so every month, an example would be, so for January, first time givers, the staff writes thank you notes during our weekly staff meeting. And you write a bunch of thank you notes to first time givers that last you for January, February, and March because you bulk write them. And so when somebody gives a first time gift, then you send out a thank you note to them, a handwritten thank you note that says, thank you so much for your gift. Can you imagine doing that? Can you imagine sending that to being in a church and making that happen? And so I am just absolutely fired up and excited for you to be able to do that. First time givers, staff writes thank you notes, weekly staff meeting. Okay, digital giving. So you're looking like February. Set up an automated email sequence for digital giving. So what that means is when somebody gives online, there's an automated receipt that goes to them or whatever. So you get the point here that if you don't have and it's not just, and you can screenshot this and copy this, and that's great, but it's not for you. This isn't your church. Your church needs to go through a process of having an annual funding plan. And so that's when you know you're intentional. You take this, you print it off, you blow it up, and you put it on your wall in your office or somebody's wall in your office, and that's how it works. And so Giving Rocket Module 2 is basically when we have it's called creating a plan to get money. Module 1, you get clear, here's where we're going. Module 2 is creating a plan to get money, and you will create an annual funding plan. I'll walk you through exactly how to do it step by step. Annual funding plan is a step-by-step action item list to help you accomplish your financial goals. If you don't have this, you absolutely need it. And so in Giving Rocket, in Module 2, you're going to get this, which is awesome. And so success is when you are operating off systems and not the silver bullets. This is huge. Success is when you're going to be operating off this system, this sheet of paper, not silver bullets. Love it, love it, love it. Get fired up. Hope you're doing well listening to this. So let me just do a big recap. Clarity. You got to get clear. What are the top 3 financial things you're going after? All right, intentionality. Do you have a financial plan, an annual funding plan? It's funny to me. The churches have a plan for how to spend their money. It's called a budget. But the way to have more money is to plan to get the money. All right, and that's called an annual funding plan. So Brian Ayers sent this on Twitter. Again, I did not ask for this. And he said, getting schooled by @Casey Graham, which is me, in growing a culture of generosity, good stuff. And you can look right here. I'm with my cursor. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. And he is doing right now, I see it right there, a plan to get money. He's doing that module. And then I can see it down here, annual funding plan. And it's all the step-by-step. And so guys, you can see there's all the little downloads and all the, so like if we say create a annual funding plan, those are in there. You just print it out, blow it up, put it up on your wall, type in it, whatever. Everything that I'm telling you about is done. You just need the coaching to go through it to make the thing work. Okay, so that's the first 2: clarity, intentionality, and accountability. Getting accountable to grow. But like the other ones, accountability without clarity and without an intentional plan to do anything is going to create frustration. I talk to so many pastors. They're accountable to a board. They're accountable to their budget. They're accountable to, they pay a coach. They're accountable. But if they don't have clarity and they don't have a plan, then it's just frustration because you feel like people are coming down on you and looking at you. You're accountable to this money thing in church, and you're a pastor. You didn't sign up to be a CEO, and now you're having to deal with raising money and managing budgets and all this kind of stuff, and you feel accountable, but there's frustration there because there's no clarity of how we're going to increase and there's no plan to do it. And so when you put all 3 together is what it is, and you might be frustrated because your bank account balance is bare bones, and you have accountability to pay your staff. There's accountability there to pay you so your family can eat. Your budget is bossing you around. And so you have accountability to the budget, and the budget is telling you no all the time. No, you can't spend that. No, you can't hire them. No, you can't build that building. No, you can't do that at multi-site. No, you can't do that. Your budget is bossing you around. Your board is constantly questioning your expenses, and they're constantly questioning, we got to cut back. We got to cut back. You can't do that. No. And even when we talk about Giving Rocket today, you're gonna feel there's a board, or there's a financial team, or there's an elders, or there's somebody looking over your shoulder. And you're like, man, I know I need to do this, but like I feel the accountability, but I'm not clear. But if you got clear and if you got intentional, you can increase your giving, and the accountability then becomes a partner, not a frustration in your church. And what you should do is establish a proper balance between funding the mission and spending. Funding the mission and spending. And the way you do that is clarity and intentionality with accountability maxed in. Then you're good, because what most churches are about is expenses, not spending, holding back, saving, all this kind of stuff. No. But if you want to grow, you got to invest. You got to have more money. You got to invest in more people. You got to have more building. Whatever it is, growth takes money. Growing a church takes money. Growing a business takes money. Growing a nonprofit, it just takes money. And God is a partner in all of it. But I'm telling you, every church I know that is growing and moving forward, every single one of them, they have a balance of funding. They're thinking about funding and they're thinking about spending at the same time, not just the spending thing. So success is when you have someone, this is very important, responsible for this. And you say, for what? For the clear plan, for the clear goals, for the intentional plan, then you have somebody and their name is attached to saying, that is my job in this church. I am the one that's accountable. And if you're listening to this, I would say at first, you're probably the one that needs to be accountable. To say that it is my job, to say I have a job description that says it's my role to increase giving in this church, and I'm going to put my name beside it. And most churches, when I walked into the churches, they don't have that. They have no idea when I say who is in charge of increasing regular tithing in your church or regular giving in your church. They don't know. And some of them will say the senior pastor, some of them say the finance team, some of them will say the bookkeeper. We just don't know. And so somebody in your organization's got to step and say, this is my ball. And so when I walk into your church, if I walked in a year from now, if I walked in 3 years from now, and if I said, who is in charge of increasing regular giving? All fingers in the room point to the one person to say, that's the person, that's the person. So financial increase, clarity, clear goals, intentional plan, accountability to a person. Now, here's your action item from this webinar. You need to create a one sheet for 2016. And on your, what we call it a one sheet, and it's inside of Giving Rocket. And you need 1 to 3 clearly defined financial goals. And you're going to ask, what kind of goals? How do you know if it's the right goals? All of that is covered in Module 1 that you can get a free sample of today. So fired up, I'll share it in a minute. And I'll walk you through, answer all those questions. Okay? 2016 goals may look like this. Increase digital donations from 3% to 20% by December 31st, 2016. That may be an example. Another example of a clear goal may be increase operational giving 20% by October 31, 2016. Another example may be to educate 100 families through Financial Peace University by December 31st, 2016. The reason these are good is that you know if you accomplish them because they're attached to numbers, so you have a date and a dollar amount. You know there's a date, again, different dates here and different dollar amounts. The next thing you need to do is you need to have, very important, accomplish for the one sheet that says 1 to 3 clearly financial goals, like the examples we just gave you, and then determine who is responsible to accomplish the goals. And so at the bottom of the sheet of paper, literally you want to have something like this. John is responsible for increasing giving in 2016. It's that simple. That it's somebody's name attached to it to say that it's my role, my job. Nobody's going to do it. I'm the one that's going to lead the charge. I'm taking the bull by the horns. I'm going to be. But you shouldn't do this stuff alone. So that's why you see, this is how this works. This is the one sheet. This is kind of an example. I know I'm going fast here, but here's the point. You got your 3 goals. You got John is responsible at the bottom. The question is, how do you get there? How do you make this happen? Well, inside of creating your one sheet, you're going to do this. You're going to have 3 financial goals. Then you're going to determine who's responsible. Then you're going to print out your one sheet and keep the one sheet visible, connected to your annual funding plan that we've already talked about. And so I know that sounds like a lot. And so I'm just going to give you today, we haven't done this in a couple of years, but we're opening up Giving Rocket, the 12-module coaching program, and I'm going to give you a 7-day free trial of Module 1. So what that means is that when you open it up in Module 1, you're going to get all of the coaching that helps you accomplish how you get your church clear, set your financial goals to get ready for what Module 2 is. Module 2 is creating the annual funding plan. And between Module 1 and Module 2, you will accomplish and cover everything that we've talked about in depth with your team, from videos, audios, written, everything in the program today. And so in Module 1, it's how to have a financial strategy. You will learn how to create clear financial vision. You will determine your top 3 financial objectives for your church. Module 2, you're gonna, this is awesome. Create a plan to get the money. You're gonna create an annual funding plan in this module, and then the annual funding plan is a step-by-step action item list to help you accomplish your goal. In Module 3, it's gonna be how to get people to give. So when you get to Module 3, it's like, that's great, we did all the internal work. Now, how do we get people to give? You're gonna learn to face the reasons that people give to your church. And face the facts of how it works. And then you're also going to discover how to communicate to each type of giver from stage and in written communication. So we're going to teach you how to get people to start giving. That's what I'm saying. Within 90 days, you have these 3 modules, and you can go ahead and activate people to start giving. You're also for free. For free, we're going to give you free bonuses. We're literally throwing in 54 giving talks. Think about this, guys. For no money. And even if all you do is go in and download the Giving Talks, that's 54 Giving Talks of scripts that are written for you, of creative ways that are stats, stories, and scriptures. I don't have time to go into it, but it's basically the creative ways to talk about money in your service. You have an entire year's worth just for joining the free trial and jumping in. Also, there's going to be letters and emails to send to donors that you're going to get free, spreadsheets and forms to help you improve financial systems, and offering envelope templates ready to customize. So we're going to open up our resource vault as a bonus for you before you even pay a dime to be a part. You've got 7 days to get in there, look at it, download it, look at the stuff. Is this for you? And I know if you watch the video, if you show it to your team, if you show it to people on your board, if you have people engaged with you, this is going to be for you. And you go to givingrocketoffer.com, givingrocketoffer.com right now. You go right now while you hear this, givingrocketoffer.com, and this is where you start. And you're going to get a free trial. We have not done this. Usually, to start, it's $99 right out of the gate. You have to pay $99. Today, it's free. That means $0. So that means you open it up, you get access, you get all of it, you get to taste it before you buy it. You get to test drive it at givingrocketoffer.com. I'm so fired up that you get to do this. We did this a long time ago, then we quit doing it for some reason. And then now we wanted to open it back up and allow you to be able to taste before you drive. And one of the many things Giving Rocket did for this guy was to help us set up a year-long schedule of things to do to help us help people grow in their giving to the Lord through the local church. Alan Summers, The Bridge, Ottawa, Canada. That's what he's talking about, is the annual funding plan. That worked for him. Well, this is Kenny Davis. He said, Giving Rocket has shown us how to connect with our church and emphasize the importance of giving in ways we never would have thought of before. This program is an incredible investment, and you will get it back immediately. Can you believe that? And he paid right out of the gate. You're getting to do it for free. That's awesome. GivingRocketOffer.com. And so people will ask, like, what is it? And so basically, and how much does it cost after? So it's you jump in. All the details will be on that page, but the free trial is when you start, and then you'll just pay a monthly fee for 1 year that provides your coaching and accountability to make sure that you do this. And the best part about even this is that it's free on the front end to check out. And we have a 365-day guarantee that after the program is over, if we have overpromised and underdelivered, and if your giving has not gone up and you have not reached your goals, then we will refund every single dollar of your investment. So you get a front-end guarantee to check it out for free, givingrocketoffer.com, free trial, 7 days, go now, and on the back end, you get a guarantee that if it didn't work, you get your money back. So there's no risk to you. The only risk is to not go to givingrocketoffer.com right now and to not check it out. This is your chance, your opportunity. The question is, are you going to take the step? Are you going to be the kind of person that says, I'm in, I'll check it out. It's free trial. We're not going to charge your card. Listen to me, for 7 days. And you can see all the pricing and all the offer and everything you get, but you get all these bonuses, you get all this for 7 days. It's like basically saying, hey, I'm just going to open it up. And if you said, I just want to go there and steal everything, hey, that's on you. But we're opening up, and we believe that when you get it and when you see it, you're going to go, gosh, I can't wait to get Module 2, Module 3, Module 7, Module 10, all of that. GivingRocketOffer.com right now. Join Giving Rocket. This is your opportunity to jump in and increase your giving, explode your giving for 2016. Hope you guys have a great, great day.